Well, I love this guy. Captain Stu Barnes is in the house. Stewie, how you doing? How's the family?
I'm well, Marty. Thank you very much. Everybody's doing well. We're, staying home and staying safe here.
I thought you were going to compliment me on my impersonation of Rick Generate, but let's put that aside. It
That
wasn't
was
that
good.
good. So tonight on MSG at 8 p.m. we're showing Game 4 of the '99 Eastern Conference Finals. Now you're hot. You had a little bit of time here where you couldn't score, but you're hot. How did that feel? Like, how much pressure did you have when you went like 30 games without scoring a goal?
You know what? It was not a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you. I had come from Pittsburgh to score goals. They actually brought me in. They said they needed some more offense, and let's get this guy from Pittsburgh. I had 30 goals the year before in Pittsburgh. I had pretty good centerman and winger though that year. Ronnie Francis and Jaromir Jagr. So they helped. They helped a little bit. Uh, but
Mario would have gotten you to 40, but
he would have
those
been,
two
yeah,
got you to
40.
30.
Well, I always joke, playing with Ronnie and Yags, I always say like 30 sounds pretty good, but in reality, I probably should have had around 50. So it was probably,
Yeah.
they're looking at me every day going, what are you doing? But anyway, but came to Buffalo for some offense. And yeah, I hit posts and you name it, everything happened. And it was really frustrating. But, in fairness, fans were good to me. I think they were getting frustrated as well. But you know what? I just tried to keep playing and keep going. And I knew eventually something was going to happen. One was going to, hit me in the ankle and go in or whatever else. But finally one went in.
Well, I think the fans could appreciate that you stepped up against Toronto because it's a big rivalry. Now, you came from
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, where the Penguins and Flyers rivalry is big. You were in Winnipeg, where, Winnipeg and any Canadian team out west, the rivalry is huge. How was that Buffalo-Toronto rivalry, and what was your first taste of that?
Well, it was fantastic. I think my first probably memory of it was all the excitement around the games, no matter whether it was in Buffalo or up in Toronto. I remember being in Buffalo the first time we played Toronto there, and all the blue in the stands, all the people that had come down to see the games. So we knew that this was serious, and everybody was excited about these games. And then, of course, getting a chance to play them in playoffs was fantastic. To go up and, it was a bus ride back and forth instead of jumping on an airplane and all the things that you normally do with a road game. But what a great time. What a lot of fun it was. Excitement was there. They had a really good team. I mean, they were a very good hockey team. And we were kind of these guys that nobody really gave a bunch of credit to, but we all knew that we had a good hockey team. And if we stuck to our game plan, then we could have some success.
Now, I told a story about how all the players before the playoffs started got to pick a toy car out of a bag.
Yeah.
And you had a little bit of a ritual with that toy car by the time like you got to the Eastern Conference Final. Can you tell us a little bit about what you were doing before games?
Yeah, I don't remember that really happening. I'm not sure if
Look, is that
that
the
was really
car?
worth anything. Look at that guy, huh?
I know. That
Yeah, it
was
was
your
funny,
good luck car.
Yeah, 30 games. Well, that's a long time. So I think, I don't know, somebody said maybe you should, rub the car on the blade of your stick. So I think I ended up just kind of rubbing it back up and down the stick and for good luck. And sure enough, it worked. And, it's funny. I when I left, I didn't have this car.
Yep.
And then I went back a couple years ago when I was coaching with the Stars, and Rip came by and said, "Hey, I got something for you," and gave it to me, and I have this. And then, as soon as I saw it, I had a good chuckle and laugh, so I made sure I put it away somewhere safe where I wouldn't.
Great number.
Yeah,
Great
no, that
number
was
on
the
that
funny thing,
car for
right?
people that didn't notice.
Yeah,
41. I love it.
41.
That's awesome. Now,
Exactly.
in game 4, Rob Ray is back in the lineup. At the end of game 3, there was a little bit of shenanigans with Ty Domi. So Lindy Ruff dressed Rob Ray. And without really giving it away, but I mean, Rob Ray scores in this game, and you
Yeah.
assisted on it. Uh, did you tell Razor to go to the front of the net and you'd find him the same way Francis and Jagr found you in front of the net?
Not quite. I think it's funny. I was looking at some video there the other day, and I remember the goal when it happened,
Yeah.
and was laughing because it was kind of a funny rub. Razor kind of spun around with the backhand and kind of batted it out of the air, and I just thought to myself, watching on highlight, what a terrible pass that was for me. I don't know how he got a piece of that, but you know what? It was great. I mean, Razor, as you know, Marty, means so much to that city and so much to the organization, and on one of the biggest stages that the organization's ever had, for him to come forward and score a goal was awesome. And you could see in the highlights everybody smiling and giving him high fives because we knew how badly he wanted to be a part of the whole thing and contribute. And he's a great guy. He's a good man. He was he was you know, he was a guy that I got to know pretty well there and have a lot of respect for.
Now, even Lindy's chuckling on the bench, thinking
Yeah.
that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the other team to see that happen in the playoffs because they may not like it. But okay, so this is a roster that is built with Michael Pekka, Dixon Ward. You have Joe Juno. You
Yeah.
have James Patrick on defense. Now, what is there one guy on that team that really surprised you? That you know, you knew from playing against them, but when you got there, you were really surprised by one of those guys on that roster.
Well, I think the guy, you know, for me, and I've said this for years now, is Dom, is the guy that, you know, as good as he was, and we all knew how good he was, and the things that he was doing. When I got there, I remember right from day one in practice and in warm up in games how competitive he was, and that was the thing that really kind of surprised me. I didn't realize that he was as good as he was and as competitive as he was. Couldn't score on him in practice, so that was. That seemed like a complete waste of time going down and taking shots on him because that was never going in. But yeah, I think his competitiveness back there in the net and just you know, just was there every day to play and play hard. And I think, you know, you mentioned the guys up standing in front of him. There are a lot of us that were very similar players. You know, Pex and myself. You know, Dixon Ward, Brian Holzinger, Joey Juno. You know, a lot of guys that were hardworking. You know, not big guys. Were quick. You know, and we're willing to do what we needed to do to win games. And on the back end, we had similar guys there. Nothing fancy, but a lot of guys that were real good players.
Well, listen, again, at 8 o'clock tonight on MSG is Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And look for Stu to assist on a robbery goal. And probably my favorite background, I'll tell you, this is a great picture I found of you. So the one knee down, the shooting in motion, the one-timer. That, you know, that was before Crosby used to do it. There was Stu Barnes doing it. So I think he stole something from you.
Maybe. You never know. Maybe. I wish I could do what he's able to do right now. What an incredible player.
Absolutely. Well, you were a fantastic player, great leader, great captain, Stewie. I appreciate you taking the time, and I know the fans here in Buffalo are going to love seeing you and that you're doing well. And hopefully we get to see you here in Buffalo in the future at one of the games, and we can you know, put that picture on the jumbotron and everybody yells Stu the way they used to back in the days.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it.